Shalom. Apostle Harkman back at you with the truth doing all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai Bashem Kakadash. Today's date is February 2nd, 2020, year of prophecy. And these prophecies, you can't even keep up with all the things that are going on around the world. This right here is a feed, live feed from Luke Radowski of We Are Changed. We talked to that guy years ago.
So far, there's been a few arrests.
Well, this is this feed started at Grand Central Station. And you had I believe the main group was Antifa, and basically it's about protesting the fares to go on a train or a bus, that it should be free. The scriptures speak about uproars of the people. And the cops got to work for their money today. They got to work for their money. This thing might be like France. There's been protests and riots in France going on for over a year, like a year and 2 months, and you had police officers, French police officers, actually committing suicide because they got to get up every morning, they got to get shit thrown at them. Yeah, you got the food vendors getting harassed. They, in order to park down there in Midtown, what they call Midtown Manhattan, you have to pay. And now it's like $4 an hour to pay. That's why we stopped going down to 34th Street. And downtown Manhattan is dead. You know, you got people out there, but there's nothing out there, man. And anybody that's out there setting up camp, I mean, if you want it, that's on you. But you got to deal with parking and traffic and all kind of nonsense.
All these homeless people living on the streets in the city, they can't do a goddamn thing for them. They can hire 500 extra cops to police the subway system. You know, they're arresting people for selling candy.
Oh, it's all about money.
The churro ladies, man. They're arresting the churro ladies who have been there since I was a little kid.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, they need the tax revenue and they need the fine revenue to pay for everything.
This city's so fucking rich, it's ridiculous.
Well, they're in debt also.
You got millionaires moving out because of billionaires in this fucking city.
Yeah.
Which is insane. You know, and they're not giving the people shit.
Yep. Not a fan of government myself. Currently at Grand Central, 30 minutes ago, there was a couple of arrests that we're looking at now.
They arrested Clive and the leadership earlier also.
They arrested a lot of people in Grand Central, which is where it started. Yeah, I almost got knocked over. Oh, you were there?
They didn't shoot anybody because they're mostly Edomites. You know, if it was Jake, they would have done shot people.
I wonder what the current strategy will be.
Send in the dogs.
I wonder if they killed in that group out there.
Anyway, let me go to a couple of scriptures.
So, if you guys are watching right now, what are you guys seeing on
If I can find the...
Where should I go next? Should I go towards the small group, the big group coming towards me? What are you guys seeing online? You guys are my eyes and ears as well. I'm just here looking on the ground from one position of what exactly is happening here, but I could have a better perspective with, of course, everyone willing to, of course, give me some information of what they are seeing online. Now, also, we're right outside the New York Times subway station, where, of course, many people have attempted to fare beat, which means jumping the turnstile. And, of course, there's a lot of officers positioned to prevent that from happening. This being one of the major train stations. This is, of course, the kind of actions that they are kind of taking here. People are saying, make sure you have a plan of escape. Escape from what?
Escape from New York.
Twinks? Why do I have to escape Twinks? People are saying New York police state. Well, that's not an understatement. New York City has, I think, the biggest police force in the entire world. It's bigger than most people's armies. So that's also important.
Yeah, New York police is done by the army. This is Rome all over again. This is a matter of fact, you know what? Let me go, yeah, Matthew 24, verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of that coming and of the end of the world? The end of the world is talking about the end of the age. You had the Romans, and then the Romans went down, and then you have this system today, which is nothing but the Roman Empire.
So the protest is moving here.
And the Lord said in the 4th verse, and the Lord answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we go back to the World War I. We'll go before that. We'll go to the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, I said the Revolutionary War, the Spanish-American War, the French-American War.
So it looks like a lot of the
Yeah, World War I, World War II, the Vietnam conflict, the Korean conflict. You had a series of wars in the U.S. against Iraq. So this society is breaking down. This society is breaking down. It says 7th verse, Matthew 24 verse 7, For nation shall rise up against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. When Donald J. Trump ordered the assassination of General Soleimani, that was an act of war. So I mean, you haven't heard anything too much coming from Iran in Iraq, but there's things happening. There's fires. There's people getting killed. There's a war over there that the mainstream media, the American media, doesn't talk about. The hell that's going on in France been going on for over, like we're talking about, a year and two months. A year going on 3 months, and there's not one mention in the mainstream media over here in America, in the States. There's things happening around the world that they don't tell you about. And now I don't know if this is going to be an everyday thing. This is going to be another France scenario where the cops are going to have to be out there, and then there's going to be a point where people's not going to come to the city, and then they're going to lose money. They're going to lose revenue. Every society has an end. Every society has an end. The only society or the only system that has no end is Israel. That's why these people want to call themselves Jews. That's why they went over there to the land of Israel or Palestine, and they took that land, and they're calling themselves keeping the laws. But those are not the people. Oh, and by the way, every celebrity out there knows about the whole Hebrew Israelite thing. Every celebrity, every sports celebrity, Kobe knew about us, but they don't speak about us.
I'm trying to find it now.
Everybody that went to the Grammys, they know about us.
They are. It looks like a lot of people just
Denzel, Floyd Mayweather, Magic Johnson, LeBron James, they all know about us, man. They all know about us. So this word has been preached throughout the whole planet. And then what does the scripture say? That's in Matthew 24. See, Matthew 24 is going to be read a lot because Matthew 24 is coming to pass as we speak. It says, 7th verse again, for nation shall rise up against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these things are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another. And this truth, you get offended by this truth. You know, especially to you Edomites. When we tell you that you're Edomites and you're going into slavery, well, the natural reaction is you're going to be offended. And you're going to try to find a way to get in. Like vocab using Acts 26 about Agrippa. When the Lord was talking to Agrippa, was that Festus? And he wanted to appeal it to Caesar. And Agrippa said, "Thou almost madest me become a Christian," which you can't become a Christian. The only Christians are Israelites that believe in our Lord. So it says 10th verse, Matthew 24 verse 10, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another, and many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. The ones of you that turn your back on this truth, whether you came into this truth back in the 90s, the early 90s, the mid 90s, and the ones of you that turned your back on this thing and went back into the world and went back into the life that you lived in the past before you came into this truth, you're not one of the chosen elect, because you turned your back on the Most High for whatever reason. 14th verse, in this gospel of the kingdom. And what gospel of the kingdom? It's not talking about Christianity, because Christianity went around the world a bunch of times, whether it be Jehovah Witnesses worldwide, Baptists, Methodists. You got a church called the Worldwide Church of God. So Christianity been around the world in many denominations, many different denominations. It says in this gospel, what gospel? What we're teaching, that you are the Israelites, and that the Most High is the so-called black man, and that the so-called white people are Edomites, although you're going to have Israelites that look like Edomites, and that this world's coming to an end. And these Christians don't teach about the world coming to an end. They don't. That's not a popular subject to teach on, or topic. That's one of the things that we're teaching, that this society is coming to an end. But anytime a society went down, the Most High set up his prophets. When the Romans went down, before they went down, the Most High sent the apostles, which are nothing but prophets, to usher in the downfall of this man's system. It says in this gospel of the kingdom, because who's the kingdom for? The kingdom is for the children of Israel. The kingdom is for the children of Israel. The Apostle Paul said that in Romans the 9th chapter, who are Israelites, as to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants. The glory is the kingdom. The covenants are the two agreements that the Most High made with the children, the sons of Israel, the children of Israel. It says, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world, and that word world is oikomeni, which means the whole planet Earth. And this gospel truly was preached when we went on the web, we went on YouTube. For a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come, and then shall the end come. This Esau system, NATO, the EU, the UN, Esau system. And these people don't know. You see these police walking by, you know. And if this becomes a, like I said earlier in the video, if this becomes the same thing that's going on in France, and these cops or these police officers are getting bottles thrown at them and Molotov cocktails and getting beat up and grabbed up, they're going to start quitting the force. But then again, they got the good benefits and the pay. But then you're going to hear of these cops committing suicide because they're going to be placed in a war zone. They're going to be